to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
The Motocross Supercross podcast at it again with episode 86, talking the 450s after round 5 Muddy Creek of the Pro Motocross series. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Well, another crazy weekend, man. The biggest story of the weekend, Jeremy Martin getting hurt. But we're here to talk about the 450.
What would you say is the biggest story in the 450 race of this weekend?
I guess Eli not winning both motos, I guess. There's a couple of good stories. Roxon, obviously, with a good start. Barsha, with a solid second place. Muskin with a hell of a comeback in the first moto. So there's a couple of things. If you don't mind, though, I do have something from Jeremy Martin. I wanted to update people on his situation.
Of course, yeah. Let's jump into some J-Mart news.
I know we're doing the 450 recap, but this is a pretty big story that we're still kind of like trying to
figure out what's happening and stuff, yeah. So
this is what he said. This is from Instagram earlier today. He said, "Oh man, guys, incredibly disappointing to have my season end like this. The title was mine, and I was finally back to the old J-Mart. This is a part of being a professional motocross racer. I've been getting the best care and support here in Bristol. My surgery went well, and we're on the road to recovery. Thank you all for the love, messages, and to all the fans that come out and support me at the races and support all of us riders. I will be back on the bike before too soon and blessed to have the best team in the pits, the FC Honda or the Geico Honda behind me." So that's from Jeremy Martin. So it looks like he's doing good. He's getting better, and we're really, really happy to hear that here at the MXSX podcast for sure.
Yeah, it looks like his spinal stabilization surgery went well. Sucks, though, man. He's stuck in freaking Tennessee, in a hospital there. As everyone else moves on to the next races, he's still stuck in Tennessee, not at his home, not even near his home. So, I mean, that part of it obviously sucks. But yeah, hopefully he gets well and he can get out of there. And I mean, there's nothing really anyone can do right now except for his doctors. And, we can just sit back and just hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, just wait and try to recover as fast as possible and just trying to come back 100% for Supercross season next year, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully. Like I said, I don't want to speculate, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with him.
Yep.
Some other news, which I know we'll talk about this more later when we start talking about Southwick. First look at that. But we got Bogle and Webb coming back this weekend, both of them.
Yeah. The JGR Suzuki, Justin Bogle, expected to be back for Southwick, as you just mentioned. And, he's been working with Ricky Carmichael at the Goat Farm over in Tallahassee. He seems like he's ready.
It seems like it was, I want to say, like right at the end of the Supercross season when he was riding the turn track. So it's like he's been training for a good, 6 weeks after that. So yeah, it's like it's about time, Let's see some Bogle. There's going to be a lot of JGR 450s now. Yeah.
And speaking of JGR 450s, something that we talked about here, Justin Hill making the move to the 450 when he was going to do it. Then he did it. Then they said that he was going to go for certain races, quote unquote. And then I was like, no, he's not. He's definitely just going to finish the season in it. And here it is. He's going to contest the remainder of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross in the 450 class. So it looks like the Auto Trader Yoshimura Suzuki announced that Justin Hill was going to finish the remaining of the rounds of the season in the 450 class.
Yeah, it's not really surprising. That it just doesn't surprise me at all. It's like, he was doing awesome. We knew he was going to do awesome. He didn't do as great as we'll get into here from Muddy Creek, but he's got the speed. He's running up there for sure, a top 10, probably even top 5 rider. And of course, they're going to let him ride through.
Yeah, they're trying to say, how
they can't put him back on the 250.
They're trying to say how it's got to do with Filthy Phil or Phil Nicoletti moving to the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team, but it was going to happen anyway. So he's going to be a full-time rider now in the 450, and for now on 450 it is.
Exactly. So really excited to see more Justin Hill in the 450 class, and now we get Justin Bogle and Cooper Webb will be back.
Yep.
That does mean though Alex Ray will no longer be on that factory Yamaha. So
yeah, that's unfortunate news for Alex Ray, I guess, but he hasn't really showed much, you know. He really hasn't showed results.
Well, we'll get into his results, but I think he was running up there a little bit. He's had flashes, you could say, of like maybe top 10. But yeah, it really hasn't gotten any better than that. I was reading something on, I want to say it was Vital, where they have like the good, bad, and the ugly kind of section. And it was like, they said Benny Bloss did bad because he got like 9th or something. They're like, oh, he did the worst of the factory bikes. And it's like, not all of them. Not all of them.
Yeah, Alex Ray definitely with a lot of bad luck. I don't know if it's bad luck or just lack of preparation, lack of willing or just drive, you know. He just, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened there. I feel like...
Yeah, I like Alex Ray, but I don't know. I just definitely think he could do better. That's for sure.
If you're in a factory ride, man, you know, like if you have a factory bike, he's riding the same bike that Justin Barcia is racing. So, and we've seen Justin Barcia getting better and better every week. He's run into a little bit of bad luck a couple of rounds ago when he got red flag when he was leading the race, and then he ended up crashing after the red flag. Same thing with the second moto. He ended up, you know, and then this last weekend he had a great battle. He made a couple passes and he ended up getting second. So that's what I'm saying. It's not the bike. It's not the same situation like the 250 Suzuki guys, you know. He has a great bike. He has a great team behind him. And we talked about, you know, how there was other riders that maybe deserved the position more than he did, you know, kind of like Kyle Chisholm, you know, or I don't know. But
yeah, it looks like it just didn't work out for him this time. Sometimes maybe it's like it could be the best thing for him, you know. Who knows? We'll see how he responds from all this. But let's go ahead and jump right into some racing. Muddy Creek, as we said, it was an eventful weekend, and I think the moon cycle did have something to do with all the madness that went on. I saw the moon last night, and it was super big, super orange. It looks like just, you know, weird things would happen under that moon. Looking at the qualifying times, no surprise that Eli Tomac was the fastest. He had a 151.4, and Marvin Musquin was second with a 152.0. A little more than half a second faster, you could say. And then Justin Barcia right behind them, Blake Baggett. Justin Hill was the 5th fastest in front of Roxon. Nicoletti 7th, Benny Bloss 8th, Brandon Shar 9th. He puts up some really fast qualifying times, seems like, every week. Weston Pike, Cunningham, Alex Ray was 12th fastest in practice. Ben LeMay, Chris Canning, Henry Miller, Jerry Robin, Lorenzo with that 17th fastest time, yeah. Brandon Leith, Cody Cooper was 19th fastest.
Henry Miller riding with the hurt back too. They mentioned that how he was going through like all the smooth areas of the track, but still going like really, really fast. So it was like working out for him.
Yeah, Justin Hill also said he had a practice crash during the week that might have been affecting him, but another person other people we were talking about, Jake Masterpool, he was 24th fastest. He's had some really good times this year. Jacob Hayes, arena cross guy, 25th fastest. Dylan Merriam was 27th fastest. So he had some pretty good results. So it just shows that, you know, qualifying times aren't really everything. That pretty much covers that. Let's jump right into Moto 1. Moto Uno.
Yeah.
For the Spanish crowd out there.
Yeah, Moto 1, very exciting moto. We had Ken Roxon with the hole shot.
Yeah, it looked like Tomac was going to get it. He looked like he was way out in front of everyone, but he just went too wide on that first turn.
Yeah, like I feel like Roxon stole both of the hole shots because he got the second moto too. But yep. Yeah, he like stole it from Eli in this first one. Eli with a great start finally, or I should say again. And then, you know, everyone was like, oh, well, he got a good start. Hopefully he can win the moto because, you know, last week he got a great start. He got the hole shot and ended up losing to Musquin. Yeah, so Roxon with the hole shot. Right behind him, Eli, Barcia. Musquin was there. Blake Baggett was there. And
Hand, Honda Privateer number 332, Jeremy Hand. He had a freaking awesome start. He was running right up there with everybody. I was like, who is that? I was like trying to figure it out. And then I was like, oh, it's Hand. So mad props to him. Yeah. Good start for them. He was running up there. He did fade. He ended up getting 25th. he had to have went down because he was right up there running with everybody. So good start for him. Halfway, I mean, Barsha looked good. Barsha looked really good the whole weekend.
Muskin ended up falling a couple of turns after in the same turn that Blessinger had problems with in the 250 class.
Exactly.
He crashed.
And Jacob Hayes got a little caught up in that whole incident there.
Yeah,
and
which I think Roxon is the one that, not Roxon, Barsha is the one that cost it. He clipped.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like he was just riding straight and you could just see his wheel just jerk so hard right. It was just like, oh.
Yeah, so it put Muskin in about 20th place, around that area. So Muskin already with a bad start, and I'm already looking down like, holy crap, what happened with my pick? And then Barsha, making up time, making some passes, and to work his way up.
Yeah. That pass he put on Weston Pike, it was like a perfect pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barsha looked really good all day. Typical Bam Bam. Alex Ray, who we mentioned earlier, he was like 12th, running 12th. Hill was like 13th. They did not have great starts at all. About like 10 minutes in, Eli passed Roxon finally, and it was funny because Grant Langston was like, I think he's going to try and demoralize these guys, like just thinking he's just going to just take off. I was like, yeah, that's probably about right. That's like what he's going to do to him this whole season, demoralize him.
He did.
Then after that, we saw Bam Bam, some classic Bam Bam, get into Ken Roxon right there in that like hole shot turn. It wasn't like super clear if he like made contact with him, but he definitely put him over the turn. So I think you got to say yeah.
Oh yeah, he ran him wide for sure. He took the inside from him and ran him wide.
Barsha almost kind of reminded me of like Villapoto, the way he was just like making lines out of nothing and just like looked super balanced and just smooth. I don't know. That's just kind of what was running through my mind whenever I saw him doing all that.
Yeah, the Yamaha was definitely gripping. It was grabbing for sure. And like you said, we definitely saw it when he put that bike in the inside of Roxon where there was literally no line to make a pass, and he just ended up pushing Roxon to the outside, took second place from him. And then Tomac just destroyed. He got a 10-second gap on everyone by the end of the race, and Barsha
demoralized him.
Yeah, Barsha he also got some ground on Roxon, but
we saw Muskin. He was running through the pack like about halfway through. He's already caught up to 7th. And then in front of him, we saw like Baggett and Pike battling for 4th. And they kept referring to Baggett using those wild outside lines. It was like, yeah, he was definitely trying everywhere to make some passes. And speaking of Wygant, did you see the video of him doing like the post race show or video
with Alex Ray?
Yeah, and he drank the beer out of the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, he didn't even chug it. He didn't even chug the whole thing.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. I'm glad you saw that, so I'm not the only one. One, I thought it took him a little too long to be like a chug. And then at the end, he like flipped it, and just so much came out. It was like splashing all over Alex Ray.
He does say, "Hey, you got my shoes," but I'm not one to talk because I can't chug beer anymore. So if I was put in that position, I would probably look like that.
Anymore? Your glory days of chugging beer behind you?
Yeah, they're definitely behind me for sure.
I could chug a Miller Lite pretty fast, but I'm pretty specific.
Yeah, I can chug a bottle of water pretty fast too.
Oh yeah, water. I could put water down. That's right. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. That was cool.
That's a cool bong though, like a cool beer bong. That's a great idea.
Yeah, not bad until you're like get cancer in a couple years. You better hope it's never been used.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just chug it, and it looks cooler if you go for it and you like throw up everywhere than if you have to dump out half the beer,
I guess.
It's better to spit it up than dump it out. So you got to go for it. A little harder next time, Wygant. Just a little harder. But that was pretty cool. Cool to see him do that. A bunch of just some of the people you wouldn't expect to, drink on camera or something, do something cool actually.
He was put on the spot.
How corny it gets sometimes. And what else happened in this race? We saw... Marvin catches Filthy Phil, Nicoletti, and then Filthy Phil falls in that same exact corner that Marvin fell on in the first lap and pretty much just said, "Here you go, Marvin. Happy 6th place to you. Go ahead and take it." So some bad luck for him on the last lap of that. And good luck for Marvin, I guess you could say. He ended up passing Pike too and getting fifth in this race. So
yeah, he got fifth in the race.
Not bad after falling on that first lap. It's a first lap curse. It's like you got to make it through that first lap, or you're in last.
Well, if we would have one more lap, he would have got Baggett as well. He finished right behind him. So
yeah, exactly.
So
he definitely
Eli
looked
took
good.
the win on this moto. Justin Bosch in second place, Roxon in third, Baggett in fourth, Muskin in fifth, Pike in sixth, Filthy Phil in seventh, Justin Hill in eighth, Benny Bloss in ninth, who I want to say he was involved in that little crash too. Henry Miller in 10th, Kyle Cunningham in 11th, Dylan Merriam in 12th, Ben LeMay in 13th, Heath Harrison in 14th, Jacob Hayes, the Arena Cross champ, in 15th. Brandon
Nope,
Sharp.
you skipped one.
Huh?
Brandon Sharp got 15th, and Jacob Hayes got 16th.
This is from the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross websites.
Whoa. So something happened there. Someone messed something up. All right, well, so we'll go with that.
Nick Gaines, 17th, Alex Ray, 18th, Masterpool, 19th, and then Cody Cooper taking that last spot, or not last spot, but the last point with 20th place.
Yeah, someone who we saw do really good, and it seems like he struggled a little bit here. So guessing he ran into the Muddy Creek unluckiness. It seems like everyone had something happen to him. So yeah, that's how they ended up with that first race. And moving on to the second moto, you mentioned earlier, Roxon grabbing both those whole shots, and nothing was different here. He took that whole shot, and he was like, peace.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from a little bit, and then the other one, the person who had a really bad start was Tomac. In this one, he was
awful start.
Yeah.
They're like showing. I was like, where is he? It looked like he was in like 38th place or something.
And it's funny because they were like waiting for him to come by. Like it wasn't like, whoa, let's continue with the race. Oh nope, well, let's wait for Tomac. And he was about same thing with Muskin. He was about 20th place. And then the guy that you mentioned earlier, what was his name? 338?
Jeremy Hand.
Yeah, he also had a bad start with Tomac, so they met.
Oh, yeah. They're like, he followed him up there in the first moto, and now he's following him in the second moto.
So Tomac got caught up in the back.
Hey, that's not a bad person to tag along to.
Hell no.
If you got to pick a rider to tag onto, you pick Tomac.
Yeah, I would too, for sure. But meanwhile, we had a really nice little battle between these three riders, Muskin, Barcia, and Roxon.
And yeah, and Tomac, it really didn't take him long to start catching up. He was already up to 14th, like 4 or 5 minutes in. So he was really catching everybody. And actually, he caught Dylan Merriam, who was running 10th, so another good race for him.
Muskin got around Roxon right after Barcia got around him.
That's what it was. Muskin, that's where Muskin passed Barcia, was right there on that whole shot turn.
Yes.
He was like way outside, and then he cut in just like a maniac.
He Barcia him. He Barcia.
Yeah, he Barcia'd Barcia. Yeah. And, it was a good move. He looked really good all day. Besides that bad luck in the first moto, I think he might have cleaned up.
Yeah, I told you he was going to do good this weekend. I had a really good feeling about him. He ran a little bit of bad luck in the first moto, and I feel like if he wouldn't have fallen, he definitely would have. I don't know if he would have won it, but he definitely would have been up front battling with Eli, who managed to get around Baggett and then Pike. He got all the way to fourth place with about 10 minutes to go, and he got all the way up to Roxon and make the pass for third place and put him with the overall for the whole day. Does that make him better than Muskin because they both had like the same kind of problem?
Yeah, definitely.
So Muskin ended up getting the win for the second moto. Barcia again with a second place, and Eli got all the way to third, which gave him a first place overall.
Yeah, he's a maniac. Eli had the fastest time. He had a 150.4, and Marvin's fastest lap was a 151.4. So Eli still had a second on Marvin.
Yeah, he went going through the pack. So
crazy. It's crazy. He went all the way up to third because he still had to pass, Roxon, Baggett, Pike, Hill, Bloss, Nicoletti.
Everyone.
Yeah.
In this moto, we got Muskin winning the moto again for the second weekend in a row. Barcia with the second place. Then Eli Tomac, like we said, or we mentioned, he got all the way to 3rd place. Roxon in 4th. Baggett in 5th. Weston Pike in 6th. Justin Hill in 7th. Benny Bloss in 8th. Nicoletti in 9th. Cunningham in 10th. Cody Cooper in 11th. Good result right there. Also, Jacob Hayes.
That's more like it.
Jacob Hayes with a really good result, too, with a 12th place in the second moto. Alex Wraith with 13th place. Kate Otondriath in 14th. Brandon Shar in 15th. Masterpool in 16th. Dylan Merriam, 17th, again, getting points. Brandon Leith in 18th, again, getting points. Henry Miller in 19th, and then Ben LeMay in 20th. And then for your overall results, well, we mentioned Eli, Barcia, and Muskin for the steps. Roxon end up getting 4th. Baggett 5th. Weston Pike 6th. Justin Hill 7th. Nicoletti 8th. Benny Bloss 9th. Cunningham 10th. Jacob Hayes ended up getting 11th, which is a really good result for your first race back in the outdoor season in 5 years. So that's really good for him. And I'm sure a lot of teams are looking, to maybe put him in under their tent. So Dylan Merriam got 12th. Henry Miller got 13th. Brandon Shar got 14th. Cody Cooper got 15th. Alex Ray 16th. Ben LeMay 17th. Kate Otondriath in 18th. Jake Masterpool in 19th. And then Keith Harrison in 20th.
Yeah. Well, here, speaking of Dylan Merriam, I just wanted to say what he said. 12th overall the weekend at Muddy Creek. Struggled with the track conditions and found myself on the ground in both motos. So, yeah, I mean, even with his little mistakes, he still put that 12th together. So he's doing awesome.
Yeah,
he's gonna regret getting sick last weekend.
Yeah.
Someone who found themselves a victim to the Muddy Creek curse was Lorenzo Lacurcio. He said, Muddy Creek wasn't too good. Leading up to it, I was only able to ride one day, felt off in practice, but then put my race face on, and after the poor starts, I found myself coming through the pack. I was up to 11th and feeling great after 20 minutes. I had a mechanical that forced me to pull off. Second moto, last gate pick, poor start, 3 laps to go, was 13th with 12 in sight, and had another mechanical. No one's fault, just luck wasn't on his side. Tough pill to swallow, but I know the speed is there and fitness as well. Ready for the WIC this coming weekend. So,
and it is.
Man, sucks for him.
It is. The speed is definitely there. We've seen it. He's gotten good results, and don't be surprised if one of these teams signs him for sure.
He had 2 mechanicals, but he said it's no one's fault. I don't know. I think you could find someone to blame within 2 mechanicals. Maybe the Honda. I don't know. I don't know what his mechanical is, but it definitely seems like someone should be blamed, Don't blame yourself, bro. You're killing it.
He wasn't blaming himself. It's just saying, it's just a little bit of Muddy Creek bad luck. And everybody seems to get a little bit of it, nobody really got saved.
Well, hopefully he can get that fixed for next weekend in the sand of Southwick. That's going to be, that one's going to be a big race. I can already feel it now. I can feel it now.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Riders coming back. Everyone likes that track. Everyone's just ready to just get this track out of their minds.
Yep. Everybody just wanted to turn the page on it, and I don't see why not, man. It's a hell of a weekend. And
so one more thing I want to add. I forget if we talked about this for the 250s, but Ryan Sipes, he had his terrible result, and we kind of predicted this, but he said on Instagram, fun times at Muddy Creek last weekend. We said he was just there to have fun, and he had fun, so that happened. Let's just say there's a reason we don't race 125 anymore. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be to go fast on that thing. If I ever do it again, I'm going to spend more than half a day riding the bike beforehand. You have to ride it so much different than my 350. Oh well, had a good time with the fam and friends. So yeah, we said that that 125 might not be able to compete, and it didn't. But he had fun, and that's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters, yeah. He didn't crash. He made it out alive.
Hey, that's right. So is there anything else that we need to add to this episode?
No, just make sure you guys give us a follow at the MXSX podcast. Keep us updated, and check us back in the next podcast.
That's right. We will see you soon when we talk about Southwick.
Peace.